Well, I know that Igbos will not even agree to this Tinubu's order that all governors should make sure they give land to Fulani Herdsmen for them to do their business or cow. Mm. No grief for anybody. Oh. Inter-society warns Southeast governor against ceding of land for cattle ranching. The Society for Civil Liberties and Rule of Law, Nigeria's leading research and investigative human rights and democracy advocacy group, has strongly warned against the ceding of lands by Southeast governors for the establishment of cattle ranching and settlement, saying lands in the 5 states of the zone are too tiny to be released for such purpose. He said Southeast lands are too tiny for Fulani ranching settlements, adding that Enugu, Abia and Anambra government must say no to that. The group, which commenced operations since 2008, stated that she's bringing it to the attention of governors and governments of Enugu, Anambra and Abia states and those of Imo and Ebonyi to the fact that Southeast landmass measuring 29,525 kilometers square is too tiny for grab for Fulani ranching settlements, abuse of the constitutional concurrent legislative list in any part of the region. It added that the governors in question, particularly Governor Peter Mba Enugu State, are strongly advised to back off from any form of moves under whatever disguises of camouflages against at establishment of other settlements in any part of their respective states. These moves must be done away with in the entire Southeast or be lawfully and popularly resisted. It has been observed by Inter-Society since December 2023 and January and February 2024 that despite denials and reasons given by the governors and their governments or defenses publicly made to justify the widely suspected politically motivated moves to establish the so-called non-native trailer parks or agro-industrial farms or mechanized farm settlements or modern cow ranching, most social clusters have remained saturated with strong suspicions that the governors and their governments are being economical with the truth. The organization stated this in a statement jointly signed by our key officers, which included its board chairman Emeka Umeagbalase, criminologist researcher Chinwe Umeche, head democracy and good governance program, and Obianoju Igbo Esquire, head civil liberties and rule of law program, and was made available to African Examiner in Enugu on Monday. While such moves as clandestinely been intensified at sub-state government level in Anambra since 2022 through the Ministry of Homeland Security and its commissioner in Enugu and Abia State, they are believed to have reared their ugly heads since December 2023 after the electoral Apex Court judgment in the 2023 governorship polls in the two states. These moves are made more suspicious going by the fact that these governors and their governments, particularly those of Enugu and Anambra, hardly speak out publicly in strong condemnation of jihadist Fulani Herdsmen violence in their respective states, including abduction and killings in captivity. Inter-Society has recently traced the current food insecurity in Nigeria, including shortages and price hikes of Islamic colonization and terrorization of the country's food basket, that is, Ondo, Ogun, and Oyo in southwest, Delta and Edo in south-south, Benue, Plateau, Nasarawa, Kogi, and Niger in north-central, southern Kaduna and southern Kebbi in northwest, and Taraba, southern Borno, and northern Adamawa in northeast per Boko Haram and jihadist Fulani Herdsmen. The moves by the named governors and their governments and reasons given have also become more suspicious following can you just imagine? Yes, following disclosures by the government of Enugu and Abia of the involvement of the federal government of Nigeria in the moves. Why the government of Enugu State said it is planning to build a military base in Nimbo, Uzowani, to protect its planned cow ranching and the people of the area. The government of Abia State said it is collaborating with the federal government to build a non-native trailer park at Arungwa. The two explanations are utterly suspicious because, going by the provisions of the Nigeria's existing 1999 constitution, it is outside the legislative mandate by any state to build a military base or get a federal government approval for collaboration before building a trailer park on current legislative lease control land spaces located off a trunk. A federal road promising to build a military base is also subsequent colonization of the so-called modern cow ranching following brazen partnership, partisanship and deep distrust of the military by many citizens across the country since July 2015. It is therefore most likely correct to say that the ongoing moves by the named governors and their governments are tantamount to the voice of Jacob and the hands of Esau. It must be clearly protected or pointed out that it is the duties of the reference governors and their governments as chief security officers of their respective states to rise to the occasion at ensuring security and safety of those they were elected or selected to govern and protect, including mustering enough political will to flush out Marodian jihadist Fulani herdsmen wreaking havoc in farmlands located in communities and across the state or their states and restore farmers access to their farmlands and cultivated and harvested crops. Tinubu is not even bothered about going after the so-called bandits. I know if it's going to be happening in other states, so maybe South, they feel grill, but for South, he say, forget about it. Forget about it. It's not going to happen. Forget about it. They're not going to agree now. And Tinubu himself is just trying to shift the responsibility to the governors, and it will not look in the eyes of all these Fulani and the Northerners that, oh, I have tried my best to, I've already told the governors, I've given them the mandate or the order to do that, to allow you to be all over the country. But if you want to hold anybody responsible, go and meet the governors. That is exactly what I feel that Tinubu is doing, because he's not going to be, it's not doable. But in a nutshell, they have said, these governors, if you do anyhow, you will see anyhow. So don't just even bother to play smart. There's nothing like any land for anybody. Leave your comment down there, guys, and let's know what you think.